Hello everyone, and welcome back to episode 13 of How to Make a Browser Game for Dummies. So, first off, before we start, I would like to thank Matthew and Frederick for becoming my patrons, I believe it's called. So, thank you so much. It really means a lot to me, and it really motivates me to make more videos. So, thank you so much, and yeah, if you would like to help me out as well, please support me on Patreon. I will put a link up in the screen. So guys, today I want to start working on password hashing, and we will see how far we will get if we will finish it in time. I will also work on the resource cron job that makes sure that we gain production. For example, 60 per hour will be added to planks or something like that. So let's see. Let's open up Aptana or your editor that you're using, and let's work on the password hashing first. So if I'm right, we will have to go into the backend, account, registration handling, because that's where we put the accounts into the database. And yes, this is where we encrypt. This is where we crypt the passwords currently. No, this is where we encrypt the passwords currently. And we are using MD5, which isn't very secure. So I want to start using Bcrypt because I don't fully understand it, but as far as I understand it, it uses like the way the password is encrypted depends on the machine you're running it on. It can only be decrypted by the same machine. So yeah, I believe that's pretty much it. For example, this password over here is MD5. Now, if we copy it out of here and we go to, let's go to Google. Let's see, MD5 decryptor. It might be able to decrypt it because, you know, it's just a very standard system. Let's just... No, I don't want to reload the captcha. I want to submit this. And it says moly. So there you go. We just decrypted it because the account is holy moly. So it's very easy to decrypt MD5 and actually hack the account. So we definitely want to stay away from MD5. That was secure in the past, but no longer. So first thing first, we should increase the length of the password field because Bcrypt uses 60 characters, I believe, and this is 32 characters. So just to be sure, let's make this guy 255 length, the password field. Let's save that. So now it should be able to save the password in there. So let's actually log out for later. Registration. Okay, let's go into the editor and let's start working on the password hashing. So this guy, let's just comment the MD5 encryption part out for now because we don't need it anymore. And let's start working on the Bcrypt stuff. And we can do that by typing password underscore hash and then use parentheses, open and close, and then end it with a semicolon. And then in here you are going to type two parameters. The first parameter is a string, the password, and the second parameter is the algorithm, which will be Bcrypt in our case. You also have some other algorithms, so if you want, you can check them out, but that's not necessary. So the first parameter is the password, which is already a string, so we can just put the password in here, and then comma, the algorithm. Oh my god, that's a hard word. The algorithm. So that is password in all caps underscore Bcrypt. And that should work actually. We also need to assign it. So let's just recycle the password variable. So $password is equal to password hashed password. So basically what we are doing now is we are hashing the password with password Bcrypt. And we are recycling the password variable by putting the hashed version into itself. So that should work. Now it should actually already work like this. Let's just try it out. this guy is in red, but let's just try it. Register test. Oh, I already have a test account, I think. Let's just remove all the crap. So there we go. Register test at test.test. Yes, that's the greatest email address ever. Submit it. Okay, let's see. Let's check the database. Yeah, that's a way longer password, so that's already working. If I'm right, this guy should be about 60 characters. Is there a way I can check that? Yes, 60 characters right here. It says here on the bottom if we open it up. So 60 characters, that's perfect. That's exactly what we want. So let's just copy this guy out of here and let's paste it into our existing account so that we know that my JabCoding user has the password test. So now if we try to log in, it doesn't work anymore. No, it doesn't work simply because the login system still uses MD5. So how do we fix that? Well, let's go into the login-handling.php file. And in here, we are posting a password. And we are retrieving a password, if I'm right. Oh, no. Oh, yes, right, okay. We will have to change this up a tiny bit. Let me see. We need a part that verifies the password. So we are retrieving it. So let's just comment out the encryption part. And let's remove the AND clause. AND clause from the SQL query. Let's just remove that. Bam. Save it. So now it's selecting a user with the username that we entered. There should only be one. So it returns a row. And before that we say that login is successful, we need to verify that the passwords are actually correct. So let's just see quickly. Let's go into registration handling and do I have a select query somewhere? Because I'm lazy. Let's see. Front end, templates, no, pages, index. On the index is a select query, I think. Yes. Oh, no, that's not pretty. Okay, let me quickly think a little bit. Is there a quick and easy way? Yeah, let's just go back into front-end pages index. Let's open it and let's select one of the queries. Doesn't really matter. Let's just copy the query to one of the where we assign a variable from the query. Just copy it, close the file, go back into login handling, and right here delete everything where we select the user. And the row count stuff, just delete it. But don't delete the echo details are correct. The login username session thing, the header, and the die, just don't delete those. And delete the last part of that statement, the if statement as well. So now we can just put it a little bit to the front, remove some tabs. And in here we are going to paste the select statement, the query thing that we copied from the index page. So in here we are going to say select password from users, where username is username. That's already perfectly fine right here. And let's see if I have my database stuff. Yes. And the result is being put into database dollar database password is row password. So basically, let me quickly explain. What we are going to do is we are going to compare the posted password from the form with the password in the database, and if they match, then the right password has been entered. But the posted password from the form is not encrypted yet, and we don't want to do this anymore. We don't want to encrypt it in the file. We just want to select the hashed password and then have the machine that the PHP is running on return a true or false Not much else. So, okay, we have the password. We have the hashed password from the database, and we have the password from the form. Now, so this part we will use later. For now, let's just leave it there and let's make some space for some code. So let's start working on the verification part. So let's make an if statement. If parentheses open and close, password underscore verify, and then we need another parentheses open and close because that's a function, and we are going to give it two variables, parameters. I'm sorry. The first one is the password from the form, and the second one is the existing hash. So $database password. The existing hash is basically the password that we pulled from the database. So now under here, let's add the brackets and an else statement, else, like this. And then we can actually cut this part, paste it in here. Oh no, paste it in here, I'm sorry. We want this to happen if it's true. If it's not true, then we want to say passwords do not match, match. And I close it off with a semicolon. Let's remove the spacing under here. Okay, so this should work actually. Shall we try it out? Let's just try it out. Let's see. Log in. Okay, jet coding, and the password is test. Test, bam. There we go. You successfully logged in, you boss. So that's it, guys. That's a very simple way to get some better encryption. Let's use some other password. Make sure, no, that doesn't work. Okay, so our system works, guys. Very nice. There we go. That's friggin' amazing. We very quickly did that in only 10 minutes. So I'm very happy with that. So now let's start working on the resource cron job that basically runs in the background to update the user's resources. So let's go into front end pages index, because here are some queries that we will which we will be able to copy because I'm lazy. And let's go into backend and let's make a new folder. And let's call it Cronjobs, because we will probably have more later for moving armies, for doing other various things. And let's create a new file in there called resources.php. And let's add a open and close PHP tags, and let's echo the following string. Echo, yay! And let's close it off with a semicolon. And let's go to that file manually. So backend /cronjob /resources.php. Yay. Now let's open up the game again. MMORTS, bam. So basically what we are going to do is every time that we run this file over here, stuff should happen with the resources for all the players. So we need to write a script in here, in this file, that does that. So what do we need for that? Well, we need to select all the users. So let's go into the index file, and here we have some queries that we can copy and steal. So let's see, we need the database stuff, we need the connection stuff. So let's copy the database stuff and the connection stuff and paste it in here. Just get rid of the echo, make sure that the indentation or whatever it's called is fine, because I like pretty code. And let's take a look. Looky. Alright guys, there might be a little cut in the video right here. I'm very sorry about that, but I was making a massive mess. I was doing some stuff wrong, making it too complicated. So, you know, just follow along and we will get there. Let me explain you what my problem was. Basically, what we need to do is we need to get the data from the resources table and from the production table, because we need to know what the production is and add it to the resources table. However, the proper way to do that is with a join in the query. But that gets a little bit too complicated, so I don't want to do that. I just want to write 2 loops and run through both tables and do it that way. So first what we need to do is select everything from the resources table. So let's start working on that. We just need a query first. So $query or SQL, whatever. You can name this whatever you want. And put a string in here with the query. So like this. And then in here we are going to type select everything from resources. Yeah. And this should work already actually. And now we need to get a result. So result is connection query. Yeah, query. Let's execute the query and then semicolon. So result is equal to connection and then query the query with the function query, and it only has the string, this string as a parameter. So let's get the result and print it out or loop through it while we have results. So while parentheses open and close, and then add the brackets, and let's put the brackets down there while we have results. So let's see, row is result, and then dash arrow to the right, fetch associated, parentheses open and close. And this should, what this should do is for every row, for every result, I want to go through this guy once. So echo test. Now let's just declare a variable that says number or count is 0. And every time we run through it, I want to increment count. So variable count plus plus, basically incrementing it. Count, and then a colon so that we know it's about that. And then add it to there. So let's see if we run the file. Let's see, it should be here. It says count 0, and now if I add another row to the resources table, insert row 3 3 blah 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 0 1. Okay, so it went through this while loop 2 times because there's 2 rows. So let's delete this one and let's continue working. So inside of this while statement, we need to select the production and then add it to update the resources table. So let's see, production. So let's make another query inside of here. Let's see, SQL, $SQL is equal to select, and I'm just using the everything operator, but you should actually just say select city underscore ID, etc. You should just select everything that you need, but for now this is just easier. For example, we don't need the ID, so we are getting it, and that's a little bit of a waste, but for now it's just easier to use it. So what do we need from the production table? Well, we need to get the productions. So we just need the last 4 columns. So let's select well, actually, let's just do it right. I'm sorry, guys. Planks underscore production, comma, or underscore production, comma, clay underscore production, comma, and we need the food underscore production. From, we need to get those from production table, where the city underscore ID, where this guy is equal to the city ID in resources, which we should already have inside of here. So where city ID is equal to, let's actually just put it inside of a variable. City ID. City ID is equal to row city underscore ID. Bam. This guy, we need to compare it to this guy. That should work because we are not replacing this variable. Yeah, let's quickly comment this guy out and let's echo the city ID. Echo city ID. And let's check it out by running it. Yeah, that should work. Okay, let's remove the comment. And let's put a semicolon at the end of the query. So this is the query. We are selecting the production columns from production where the city ID is equal to this guy. Okay, let's execute the query and let's get the results. So result is equal to connection dash arrow to the right query function with the parameter query with the query. So SQL, but the parameter is basically just this string. And do I want to loop through this? No, I don't want to loop through this simply because inside of this while statement we are just doing one city at a time. So I can just do the same as in the index file, and you know, let's actually do it this way. Okay, let's copy from the index file in front end pages index. Copy $result to under here. Just copy it, and let's go into resources and let's paste over this guy. So bam, like this, and then remove the indent like so. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so result is connection and then the query, and then the row is result. And then we need to assign these variables. Let's see, on the index page we already did that, I think. So let's copy these guys. Let's paste them over here. By the way, guys, just let me know if the pasting is annoying. If you really find the pasting to be disturbing, just let me know and I will stop doing it and I will just write everything by hand. But I think it's just faster, you know. We need to find some common ground in this, because otherwise this project will will take forever. You know, especially if we try and do everything it's supposed to be. Like, for example, right here we selected all the columns manually, but it would be faster to just do this, but it's just not the way it should be done. So at this point I'm just doing it and then I'm doing it not. No, I'm just trying to keep a little bit of speed into it, because otherwise this project will take until the dinosaurs are back. So yeah, let's just continue where we were. Okay, so we've put the productions into the variables, and now we need to update the resources table with the new resources. And I still have this variable, I haven't overwritten it. So I think I can just write an update query. Let's see. Let me quickly get an example. Because it's actually quite a while ago since I've done it. Let's take a look. Yeah, that's quite simple. Okay, guys, we first need to write a query. $SQL is equal to string, semicolon, and inside of here is going to be update resources, which is the table, and set is the operator, basically the what do you call it? We are basically telling it that we want to update some stuff. Let me quickly think, actually. The easiest way to approach this is to just set the resources to the resources table every hour. That's the easiest. Like, once the file is run, just update it. So let's just do that for now. Later on I want to make it so that for the user, for the front end, it's simulated that it gets added every second. And then in the back end, it only happens when the user requests the page or something like that. I will have to think of a efficient system to do this every second, but I will get back to that. So let's continue with the query. Update resources set. Let's take a look at what I call the columns, planks or clay and food. Set planks is, and I believe I can do this, single quotes, planks plus planks underscore production. And I believe I can actually do this. I'm not entirely sure. So what we are doing right here is we are setting planks with itself. So basically we are doing 125 plus the production, which is 60. So the result should be 185 when this thing is run. And if you run it again, it's 185 plus 60 is 245, etc. So this should work. So let's also do this for the other columns. Planks, can I actually do that? I don't think update supports that. I don't think I can put multiple updates in a single query. Okay, let's just do this the dirty way, you know, whatever. Where, so we need to tell it which row needs to be updated. So where, let's see, city underscore ID is equal to city ID. Let's see. Let's actually put single quotes around the variables, just to be sure. Single quotes, just like I'm doing with this guy. That's just nicer. So now, let's see. Let's add a simple if statement that checks if the execution was successful. So if with parentheses open and close, and in here we are going to put MySQL query underscore query, and then connection $connection and the query, and once this guy is being executed, it returns true or false. If it was successful, it will be true, and if it's false, it will be if it's bad, it will be false. So that's quite simple. Echo, let's just echo city production, city resources has been, no, let's actually make a plural. Cities resources have been updated. Close it with a semicolon. So let's quickly test it first before I recap. Let's run it. Cities resources have been updated. Let's check in here. Oh, that's 0. There's something going wrong. Okay, let's quickly debug first. It might be this actually. Yes, I think I know what's wrong. Let's just move the single quote. Planks is planks plus variable. Let's save it and let's run it. And let's make this guy 125 quickly just to test it. And let's go into the cron and let's run it. Let's check inside the database, and now it incremented it with the production. So that's perfect. Okay, so let's quickly finish this guy by also adding or clay and food. So let's actually have this message say cities planks have been updated, and let's put a line break at the end so that it's put in a separate line. And let's just copy this guy. I know this is dirty as crazy. This is really dirty. Just paste it down another 3 times. This is extremely dirty. This is not what you should do, but if you were to make a real game for thousands of players, this is not the way to do it. I'm just showing you a quick and dirty way so that we get somewhere, you know. Like I said before, if we make this thing really pretty right now, we are not gonna get anywhere. We will not be able to finish this game, and I want to finish this game as soon as we can. And once it is finished, we can polish it, you know. We can make it better, we can make it more efficient, we can make it how it's supposed to be. So at that point I will do everything the way it's supposed to. Just for now I want it to be a proof of concept. I want it to work. So let's quickly update these guys to also increment the ore, clay, and food. So let's see, update the second one should say update resources ore is ore plus ore production. And the third one should say clay is clay plus clay production. And the fourth one should say food is food plus food production. And let's save it and let's run the file and let's check the database. And I believe that actually worked. Yes, let's run it another time. Yes, that works fine. So let's go in here and let's change these words. Let's change the echoes. The first one says planks. The second one says ore. The third one says clay, and the fourth one says food. So if we go to the page, to the cron, and we run it, it says cities' planks have been updated, ore has been updated, clay has been updated, and food has been updated. And if we check the database, the values change. So all we have to do at this point is tell a program to run this file each hour, and then, you know, once it runs each hour, it is added to each player, to each city each hour. That's basically it. And since I'm running it locally, I could use Windows task, what is it, like scheduler? Task scheduler, I could use that. But a prettier way is to do it with a, oh crap, is to do it with a, what do you call it? You know, with a host, like with a web host. They often have a function for it, and I can't show you right now, but I will definitely show you in the future, because I want to start using open-rts.com to put my to put the game in here, and then I can also show you how I would make this cron run every hour using their system, and I will probably show you that next episode. Because I'm already at 37 minutes, plus minus. Oh no, that's not right, because I'm gonna delete a bunch from the video. Oh well, so that's where we are. Let's quickly reload the page. We can actually, if we run the cron right now, let's just run it, bam. And if we reload the page, it's updated. So that's freaking awesome. That works, you know, the concept works. I like it. It's not very pretty, but it will work, it will work. Let me just close the files. Pardon me. Yeah, it will just it will have to do for now. So guys, next episode I actually want to, now I know that I've said it a few times, but I want to start looking into PDO, because it's a better system for MySQL to replace MySQL stuff. It basically is prepared, what do you call it? You know, prepared data objects, like to get information from the from the database. You're basically making a template for the query, so that people cannot inject code into your database as easily. That's another security measure to make the game a little bit more safe. So I want to start looking into that next episode. And next episode I also want to start looking into more graphic stuff and trying to make the game a little bit more serious. I want to think of a nice name. I want to think of a nice description, make a nice logo and all that stuff. I want to make it a little bit more professional. Also, I will have to change this time because it's 2016. So guys, thank you a lot for watching. This was it for this week. Might make another episode, I'm not entirely sure yet. If you would like to support me and make me more motivated to make more videos, please support me on Patreon. The link is in the description. Also, if you would like to have the source code, it's also in the description. So once again, thank you guys, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.